What's up, baby? It's the boy, State Champ, DJ Frosty, along with my guy.
What up? It's your man, Malik. What's good?
Welcome to another episode of Blazers and Boxes, where professionalism meets leisure.
Yes, sir. What's good?
It is Black History Month.
No doubt. You see what I'm rocking?
I see what you rocking. Talk to the people, man. What we got going on today?
Listen, man, it's Black History Month, so I wanted to make sure I represented, for the culture, you know what I mean? So I think most people may have seen this brand before, but, you and I was around when it first came around, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I remember.
African American College Alliance, super dope attire, supporting HBCUs at all times, making sure we highlight the culture, making sure we highlight our academic institutions that, put forth opportunities for African Americans in a real way. And so, I wanted to make sure I represented today. When you're a customer, they show love to you personally, which I appreciate. And they're a small business, Black owned. So I love it. African American Collegiate Alliance or College Alliance. I love this hoodie. It is a very, very well done hoodie from the perspective of its weight, the value from the cotton thread. I mean, it keeps you warm for real.
Yeah. So you remember what was the name of that show, man? Was it A Different World?
A Different World. Yeah, A Different World. For sure.
Different World definitely helped put that on
the map. That's right. That's exactly right. Sadly, I mean, that was one of Bill Cosby's. Hey,
listen, we still gonna celebrate Bill Cosby's achievement.
Listen, man, what he did and the legacy he led, or left, excuse me, before pre-scandal is great for African Americans. I think we've mentioned it on the show before.
Right.
You can't knock what he did for the African American middle class during that time in the 80s, man. Thursday nights, you got 2 Black shows back to back on one of the biggest nights on a main, network.
Yeah,
dude, you can't beat it, man. That was huge.
Listen, that was appointment setting, at its finest. You know what I'm saying? You used to make sure you was at the dinner table at 8:00.
100%. That's real.
Yeah, man.
That's real.
Now, do we? I haven't seen this show in a long time. I was just thinking about it, like Fat Albert. Like you can't cancel Fat Albert.
Fat Albert. I mean, you can't, right?
Like Fat Albert ain't did nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Fat Albert, Mudfoot didn't do nothing wrong. You know what I mean? Nah, they were there. They were just kids, man.
They were just kids, man. You can't punish the kids, bro.
Kids in the hood, man. Just trying to get out, bro. You can't do nothing to the kids.
Have you been seeing this thing going on with Joe Rogan?
Yeah, this is crazy. Listen, man. There are a couple of things. Joe Rogan has been out of control for a long time. I think people are just paying attention to it for a number of reasons, right?
Right.
He been wilding for a long time, but you also got to add to it that like Joe Rogan got his start because he's a comedian. And so a lot of what he's always done from a material perspective has always been controversial. And so...
Oh, he's not the UFC guy?
Don't do that. Don't do Dana White like that. That's jacked up. Don't do Dana White like that. That's jacked up.
They're not the same person?
No, they're not the same person, bro. They're not the same person. That's like them saying all Black people look alike. That ain't right.
My bad. That was racist.
That was definitely racist for sure. But I think the biggest part to this is I don't know a lot of Black people that follow Joe Rogan, right? Mm-hmm. So his rise to fame and infamy from a podcast standpoint comes on the heels of white people who like his type of commentary and comedy, right? So we got to start there. Then when you get to this place of him and the misinformation of COVID-19, yeah, I mean, that starts to get crazy. But again, him saying the N-word, all these clips aren't new clips.
Definitely not new clips. And it was a lot of them.
It was a lot of them.
I couldn't even count.
I didn't even try. I didn't even try. I mean, he was boastful about it as well, right? And so it's like, we got to get to a place where, we really are like, nah, we're not rocking with this. We ain't doing this. Like, even, I mean, you saw India.Arie. She came out.
Love her for that.
I did too, but then she got backlash because didn't she come out shortly thereafter and said, nah, I don't think Joe Rogan is racist. There was something where she flip-flopped.
She definitely came out and said, I don't think he's racist.
Yeah.
I think India.Arie's have more of an issue with Spotify.
For sure.
Than Joe Rogan.
That. Yeah, I get that. And rightfully so, because if you're a content carrier, you got to make sure that you're managing the content. And it's not taken away from free speech, but if like, come on, man, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Hundreds of thousands of people have died from this. And you want to just provide misinformation around something that has taken lives, that changes people's lives, has changed the course of American history, world history, really. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like, come on, man. Like, there's one thing to, over sensualize an issue, but to do what Joe has been doing with, and a lot of politicians on the Republican side, it's like, I get it, man. You want to be partisan, but like, sometimes you got to just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. It's like, what I hate about this era we in right now. Imagine if we took these people and put them back in 50, 60, where we got rid of polio. We got rid of the measles.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be around. Like, do y'all know how bad polio was messing people up?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Nah, that's real, right? For sure.
Imagine if we had all of these anti-vaxxers back then. Yeah. Oh my God. And all I do is think about the future. Like, what if something's worse than COVID comes out? What's going to happen?
You're going to have idiots who feel like, it's okay to, handle health and science. It's the same people who are like, global warming is a hoax.
Right.
What? You know what I mean? Like, LA and the West Coast are experiencing their coldest winter ever. Right. You know what I mean? Like, South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, Richmond, Norfolk, Virginia, all got like inches of snow, and they never get snow. Something's changing, and we gotta at least identify it. And to your point earlier, going back to Joe and the misinformation of COVID-19 and him being wild about constantly saying the N-word, it's just that things like that got to get checked early, and if they don't get checked early, then
it's gonna stick around.
It's gonna be here.
Just like January 6th, and then like the election, it was stolen. They gonna forever believe that at this point.
At this point, it's real. For them, it's reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing with climate change is that a lot of people don't understand is like, if you lived in the South, Malik, you used to, but you don't anymore. If you lived in the South, you would know our winters are very warm now. Like it's February. It's February, and I can go outside.
Listen, man,
in shorts. No, seriously.
Christmas Day, I was at home. It was 77 degrees, bro.
Right.
I was in shorts.
Right. So
wild.
That is the climate change, right?
Yeah.
Those things that affect the weather. Yeah. Not necessarily, it's going to be 130 degrees. Nah, that's not what they're saying. Nah. So a lot of places you need your 4 seasons, especially when it comes to your food and your crops and things like that.
Yeah.
Like it's a food shortage now.
100%. Yeah.
It's a food shortage now. Yep. And then for instance, like with remember growing up, we had hurricanes, but the flooding wasn't as bad as it is now. Like when we have hurricanes now, it is bad because of the flooding.
Right.
Like, so if the temperature over the Atlantic, right, if it's a half a degree higher.
All right.
Listen to what I'm saying. It's just a half.
All right.
The hurricanes can carry 33% more water.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
And so with the West Coast, they dealing with they got more forest fire. More forest fires and things like that. It's people won't understand it until it's all going to set in. And when that sets in, it's going to be too late because it's going to be a real food shortage.
Yeah,
it's going to be.
I agree. I think it's already too late.
2030, 2035, when turn is going to get ugly. And when people get hungry, that's when you can't control them. You can't control when people get hungry.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you that right now, especially not in the hood. Once we get hungry, we start turning blocks over.
I'm breaking. If I gotta feed my family, I'm breaking in everything.
Yeah.
Trust me.
It's happening. For sure. I'm with you. I get it 100%. And we just have to manage that. And so like the Joe Rogans of the world, the people who have platforms, one of the things that I don't know a lot of people know, you're a radio guy, so you know this for sure. But like the majority of radio in America is conservative radio.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know that.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Listen, talk radio in a lot of markets is the number one radio station.
100%. And so that's how you get these extremely rogue, right-wing, conspiracy theorists because they got a following, right? And so you got to ask yourself, who are these people that they're talking to? But they're not people who are educated enough to go do their own research and look up the facts on their own. They're just listening to the radio and like following the leader.
They got the radio and the websites now.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah.
And they got the social media platform too now.
Dude, Facebook will feed you information that you're interested in because you're searching about that information.
Right.
Kyrie Irving got something on his Facebook feed or YouTube feed about the world being flat, and he just ran with it. Nigga, what?
Listen, I had a lot of people I know like back Kyrie up like the world is flat. How would you know? I'm like, do y'all realize that there's people that live in space? Like they're up there all the time.
Right.
Like at the International Space Station, there are people up there all of the time. Right. It is 1 billion satellites in space. It's 1 billion. It's like all these cameras that's literally got its eye on Earth.
Right.
It is round.
Right.
It is not up for debate, bro. Like it's crazy. Like people like, okay, listen, if you don't believe people been to the moon, I have no issue with that.
Right.
But have people been to outer space?
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to stop this.
1,000%. You got to stop. They're up there now.
Yeah.
You can follow these Twitter accounts where the people are up there in space.
Photography of outer space and looking down on Earth.
You can literally follow the account right now on Twitter showing you Earth right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so listen, man, misinformation is a real thing.
It's at an all-time high.
It's at an all-time high. And so, back to the question, should Joe Rogan be canceled?
Yes. What's your opinion, Malik?
I don't know that he should be canceled. And the reason I say that is because I do believe in journalism and in free speech in a real way. But I do believe that we need to manage, monitor, and target people who feed lies to people because it's their demographic and they're willing to believe them no matter what they say. And that's a problem. And listen, and that's on the left or the right. I blame Black Christians who go to church, who can't read and don't know the Bible, but they just listen to a preacher tell them what the Bible says, right? Like I'm not the person that you should just go to church and you should just listen to what the preacher says or listen to what Sunday school teacher says. Like you should get in it and you should study for yourself. I believe that in all things in life. But I also believe that corporations who foster continued access to misinformation by people like a Joe Rogan, they got to be challenged for this.
Yeah. I don't really know which direction I want to go in.
I feel you.
I believe it's because I believe it's more of a money thing why they won't cancel Joe Rogan versus
didn't they offer him $100 million?
That he signed for $100 million.
Right. Spotify. Yeah.
He got. So my biggest issue with Joe Rogan is when he was talking about when he went to the movies or when he pulled up in this black neighborhood and it was a Planet of the Apes. There was no white people there. It was Planet of the Apes. And he emphasized and he said it again. Like it was nothing. He was like, it was Planet of the Apes. It was no white people. There was nothing but black people there. And I was like, whoa.
Like you double down on it.
People got canceled.
Yeah.
For a lot less.
Yeah. Yeah. Kevin Hart almost couldn't do the Oscars, right?
People,
yeah. Nick Cannon almost got canceled for some craziness.
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways they did. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It didn't stop them ultimately, but it's not like they didn't try.
They did. They absolutely tried.
They definitely tried. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I don't know, because like I said, people have got canceled for a lot less. And
he's got to get checked.
And my thing is, if he was willing to say that on a podcast, imagine how he talks in private.
Oh man, him and Trump locker room talk, fam.
Oh, all day.
Wild.
And he follows that path, like the conspiracy theories with the right wing conspiracy. He's on them, so know what type of dude he is.
Yeah, for sure. And I think African American comedians like a Dave who've gone on his show and stuff like that allow him a pass because he's got a comedic background. And so they know how tough it is to be a comedian and tell your version of your perspective, in a way that's also comical. But like Joe ain't telling jokes. Joe believes that black people are niggers and Planet of the Apes. And he said it profusely because he wanted to say it and dare us to challenge him. And now that we're challenging him, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not a racist. F out of here.
Yeah, F out of here.
Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah. Listen, I know you got I know you got some black friends.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't we all?
Right. Don't we all? I got black friends too, America.
Don't we? It don't make you a non-racist, bro.
Exactly.
People really be acting like I gotta be 1,000,000%. I don't rock with nobody from of this persuasion. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you can have some gay friends and still be homophobic.
Yep.
You might have some gay family, still be homophobic.
Yep.
You can have some black friends and still be racist.
Yeah.
Slave owners used to sleep with black women all the time.
Right. But and consider themselves not racist or interested in the black women they were raping at the time.
I mean, Strom Thurmond. Come on.
Man, let's not talk about him.
Come on. What we doing?
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right.
100%. We on the same page. South Carolina.
Moving on, right? Are the Lakers really this bad?
This hurts for me, brother. I'm a diehard Laker fan. I'm a Laker fan before y'all get into the comments talking about you probably wasn't a Laker fan before LeBron. Let me give y'all a perspective. I'm a Showtime Laker fan and I'm a Kobe Bryant fanatic.
Yeah,
and I'm still a Laker fan. And so the direction of this team and what's happened is tragic for American sports. And it should tell sports watchers, sports fans that we got to stop trying to build these super teams and just let people play ball.
Is this the death of the super team?
I think so. It should be. I'm gonna tell you right now. It absolutely should be.
Because the Lakers and the Nets look real bad right now.
They look terrible.
Dude,
the Lakers, the Nets were getting beat 28-2 in the first quarter. Terrible by a not good Boston team.
Yeah. Well, right. I think Boston is I think they're turning the corner.
Listen,
I think they are.
I think Tatum and is it Green? Tatum and
Jaylen Brown.
Brown. It was one of the colors. Brown. Terrible. Brown. I think they are one of the top 5 backcourts in the league.
For sure.
Right? I think if they ball.
Are they considered a backcourt?
Who's their point? Smart
was one of them. I know he's a shooting guard. Schroeder.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know if Schroeder starts right now.
They're one of the top 5 tandems,
duos, for sure.
So I think that Boston can figure this out and they can turn it around. But Brooklyn was built to win last year, let alone this year.
So see what happened with these super teams. This is what I used to always try to tell the Warrior haters. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you build a super, when you got to pay a bunch of people a lot of money, when you got to pay at least 3 people over 20, 30, 40 million dollars, you going to deplete your bench, right?
Listen, that's a fact.
And when you deplete your bench and you have some injuries with your top guys, you're done.
Where you go?
You're done. Exactly. Where do you go? You go to the G League.
Yeah. Isaiah Thomas has been in and out of the league ever since he left Boston. He was in the G League, dropped 40-something, and I think the Lakers picked him up shortly thereafter.
They picked him up. They gave him a 10-day contract. He did good for one day.
Yeah.
And then it was
like, you got to go. We'll talk to you later. Have a good day. Thank you for your 10 days.
So I think
I knew this was bad. Did
you know? Did you know before the season started?
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, all right.
I want to be careful how I say this because I have a lot of respect for Westbrook, but I'm not necessarily a Westbrook fan as he is a player for my team. I wouldn't have wanted Westbrook on our team. He requires the ball too much, and you've got LeBron and Davis who the ball needs to play through, and that's not Westbrook's game. He needs the ball in his hands to feel his way through the offense, to distribute. You can't be Mr. Triple Double if you don't have skill, if you don't have high IQ, high basketball IQ. But if the ball and the plays need to consistently go through you, that's not going to happen on a Laker team dominated by LeBron and Anthony Davis.
Yeah, so I believe, well, 2 things. That's like the biggest element behind this is that Russ needs that ball. Like,
yeah,
Russ ain't really over. It's just he's over on the Lakers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
like,
I'm with you.
He has to have his own team.
Yes,
he got to have his own team for Russ to really thrive. He got to have his own team.
Yep.
And playing, and you might disagree with this, but playing with LeBron is one of the hardest things to do.
Oh yeah,
as a co-star.
Yeah,
because that light, it's not LeBron's fault. It's just so much pressure.
Yeah,
pressure, that spotlight
is significant.
It's hard for people to handle that, man.
Yeah.
Even somebody as strong as Russ, because we would have never thought Russ would have played this bad.
Nah, he's been playing terrible. Like, he's been playing as if he didn't have a jump shot. His everything is down in his career, and I'll speak further to how I knew it was going to. I was not for the trade. I didn't like the trade. I didn't want the trade. I was glad that we got Carmelo. I think Carmelo is a strong bench player. I think he can still give you solid minutes and a good, even if he gave us 12 and 5, I think Carmelo's, we're winning with Carmelo coming off the bench.
Right.
We gave up some very key pieces to get.
If you think about the talent the Lakers have had over the past 4 years
that we've given up,
that y'all give it, oh my God,
it's terrible.
You have an all-star team.
You'd have literally.
Sometimes you got to be a little patient.
Yeah, and that's the problem with legacy
with LeBron teams
and the Lakers.
LeBron teams, wherever he goes, are win now.
Yeah,
there's no next year.
Well, I think that's mainly about now. I don't think that's about his whole career. I think it's now.
No, not his whole career. No.
Yeah, like right now, it's definitely win now, but it's also a Laker issue because the Lakers are historically used to winning. And so they project this winning culture, and they also want to sell tickets. So you think you got Anthony Davis, LeBron, and Westbrook on a team. Man, the Staples Center, which I'm gonna forever call it, crypto.com center, is weird to me. But like, it's terrible. So you want to put butts in seats, but like nobody's interested in seeing a terrible team not play well. We were down 30 to the Bucks in the first quarter.
You lost to the Trailblazers tonight. Dude. That gave up half of their talent this week.
CJ McCollum there.
First of all, Little got hurt. Yep. CJ left.
Yep.
Y'all traded like y'all got rid of 3 guys. Anyway, it's like 3 guys I got rid of. I can't even think of everybody's name. So another person got hurt earlier. One of y'all, another key piece for y'all got hurt. Damian Lillard.
You talking about Portland?
Yeah. Damian Lillard is not playing,
and we lost.
And y'all lost, and Russ didn't play.
Yeah. Well, I also think Russ is making a point, and I like what he said last. I think
he's making a point too. I think he is.
Yeah, he's making a point.
I think he's making a point.
He said in one of his press conferences, he was like, I shouldn't have to do anything to earn being a part of the closing team. Like I've done everything I'm supposed to do as a player on and off the court to deserve to be in the closing lineup. And I don't disagree with him. He just can't be on the closing lineup of the Lakers. We are terrible. And having him, you mentioned something though. We were having this conversation offline. Who's picking up that contract, bro?
That's the problem. Yeah. And that's what I was telling all the Laker fans that I know before the season started.
Yeah.
Y'all paying Russ too much money. Russ is not the problem. But y'all losing.
Salary cap.
It's the contract. It's the salary cap.
Yeah.
That's why you're losing.
Yeah.
If you could split up $44 million and add that around AD and LeBron,
do you know what we could get?
Bruh.
Yeah,
and
I'm with you.
That's why these other teams are better.
Yeah.
Because you got a couple stars and role players. That is the winning formula.
Yep.
That is the
we gave up Kuzma.
And I told people Kuzma was going to ball out when he left the Lakers.
He's balling. Montrell and Pope.
Man, y'all used to have
Pope.
Y'all used to have Brandon Ingram.
Dude, Brandon Ingram is a baller.
Y'all had Julius Randle.
Yep. Balling.
Y'all had D'Angelo Russell, even though he had to go. He did have to go.
That was a must. D'Angelo Russell, he had to leave. There was no question about it. It was time for him to go.
He had to go. He had to go.
He couldn't stay there.
But y'all had Josh Hart.
Yep. Who, God bless him. He got traded to Portland.
He got traded to New Orleans.
Did he? Did he get traded to New Orleans or Portland?
No. You're right.
Portland.
Right.
Yeah,
he got traded to Portland.
Yeah, he was on New Orleans. He got traded to Portland, and he came to show love, sitting courtside with a Brandon Ingram jersey, which I respect that because Brandon Ingram is a baller. I said it when he was on the Lakers, and I was like, Brandon Ingram has talent, and he could be the next, KD. Yeah, if someone was willing to like get with him and really bring him along, because he got ball skills, like he can ball.
Oh yeah,
but the Lakers just aren't a patient franchise, and they're not willing to rebuild in a way that just says, "Listen, let's build a team that makes us good long term, not just for LeBron's contract until his son gets into the league." Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
Lakers got to really, they got to really work on the defense. That's really what it is. How you lose to the Blazers, bro?
We ain't got no defense. We ain't got no offense. It's terrible. We're beyond bad, and I'm embarrassed to say it. But listen, I mean, I can't go without saying that everybody's bad on any given night, but like the Lakers are bad consistently. And when you're this bad consistently, somebody's got to go. The problem is we're salary heavy and no one's taking the salaries we got. Who are you going to trade? You're going to trade Anthony Davis to who for what?
First of all, Bron ain't letting that happen.
That's not going to happen.
He's not letting AD go.
Yeah, no.
Only person you can trade is Russ.
Yeah.
And you can't trade Russ.
Nope.
Y'all also was high up on THT. THT is not what y'all thought he was.
I didn't think he was either, though.
Okay, but a lot of people did.
Yeah, and
they was high on him.
I was curious about that. I didn't know why that was the case, but yeah,
because he balled over in summer league.
In summer league, yeah, but like summer league is summer league. There's a reason why summer league.
Right.
Yeah, right. I mean, the majority of the ballers who play in the everyday games ain't playing the summer league player.
Right.
So I'm with you. Yeah, I wasn't big on him either.
Yeah. Which did you see the Nelly thing? No, nothing
Heard about it.
Heard about it.
I heard about it. I did not see it, and I'm okay with not seeing it.
I'm okay with not seeing it too. But do you think it was an accident? What do you think happened? Because I got a theory. That's why I'm asking you.
I don't know. I only heard that somehow this video got uploaded and he says that it was an accident.
Right.
My thing is like, how do you accidentally upload a video to the internet?
Right. So did you see the video of when he found out?
No.
He was actually doing, allegedly, because I don't want to say 1,000% sure, but he was doing an interview with Kevin Hart. Like him and Kevin,
Real Housewives of or Real House Husbands of Hollywood.
In the middle of that interview, Nelly looks down at his phone and says, "Oh, damn." And that was the moment he realized he was going viral for this video being uploaded. This is my theory.
All right.
I believe a female that he's messing with got into his phone, or at least knows his password.
All right.
And put that video out there to embarrass Nelly.
Really?
How he's doing an interview. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless he was looking at it before the interview started and put it in pocket and it uploaded, but that's like a 1% chance of that happening. I believe a young lady that he's messing with got hold of that video and was pissed at him, and he know it. That's why he didn't call her out. He got caught. Basically, he got caught cheating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How old? She probably was like, "How old is this video?" You know what I'm saying? She probably know, and she got his ass. Figured out his Instagram password.
Whatever it is, it's terrible, and I feel bad for him because from the reactions of the internet, no one's loving this video, and so it's like, if he did it to himself, I'd be like, well, you got to kind of feel bad about yourself at this point because you're not getting the love you thought you was going to get. If that did happen, if a girl did do that, she won because like she now gets to share in the commentary of everybody else. And even if she thought differently before the comments started coming out, she can now just change her story and say what she wants to say.
Bro, hopefully the behind the scenes of this story comes out one day because I would almost bet the house on it.
That's wild.
It was probably a lady at his house.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
I put money on it.
Yeah, yeah, man. I saw it trending. I did not search for it. I was not looking for it, but I am from the comments that I saw. It didn't go well for Brother Nelly. And then,
or the girl.
or really,
Well, I mean, the comments I saw because they was talking about her, her technique, or lack thereof.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Yeah, so that may be true what you're thinking, because you can see a woman right now talking about she can't even really. Oh yeah. Let me show the world this so they can see how you royally effed up.
Yeah, like they want to see that basket weaving technique. You know what I'm saying? All right, moving on, man. Have you?
Yes, absolutely.
Snoop Dogg. Did you see this?
I saw it.
You got Death Row.
I love it, man. I love it for him. I think there's some more work that he's got to do on getting his masters or getting the masters and everything. But listen, man, this is a big deal. It's a huge deal. I love it for Snoop, and I
love it for Snoop too.
Yeah, I really do. I do.
I'm gonna tell you why, because Snoop is one of the biggest OGs.
Yeah.
That never really bossed up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
And I heard him talking a few months ago, talking about, how he wanted Death Row.
This is when he was talking to Master P, right? It was a conversation.
It might have been because he was talking about artists he could have signed, artists he could have put on.
Yeah.
But he didn't have the situation.
Yeah.
There's so many, because like Snoop Dogg, for sure should have been running the West Coast with the talent.
I agree, without question.
Yeah. So hopefully, he can at least get one. I just want to at least get one out of this. Sign somebody that really, blows up. You know
I
what
agree.
I'm saying?
I hope so. I hope. I don't know if there's anything going on between him and Dre, but I hope Dre gives him, some love too, and does like a track with him or something like that. That'll be super dope, just to kind of like feel that. And listen, timeliness is a thing, right? You know what I mean? I've done PR for years, right? The Super Bowl is in a couple of days. So, I mean, it's a whole LA West Coast, halftime show. So it's like, why not drop this news now?
Absolutely. I mean, listen, I'm starting to get excited for the Super Bowl. It's not because of who's playing.
Nah.
Halftime show
is going to be amazing.
Historic.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what's funny. I've gotten this question several times. Every time they see the halftime lineup, they be like, "Damn, the halftime lineup is really black. Is there anybody white on there?" And I'm like, people keep forgetting that Eminem is a part of this halftime show lineup.
That is true,
and it's M. And I don't doubt that either days before or days after he's gonna drop something dope, something new. Dr. Dre just recently dropped an album or something, a single for sure. I didn't see the album.
I didn't see it. My bad, but I didn't see an album either. But I got like at least 6 or 7 songs,
really
new from Dre.
Listen, the one I heard today, Diamond Mine, with Nipsey Hussle and Ty Dolla $ign, and it's him and Dre spits on it. I love it. It is. It feels like the West Coast. It feels like Dre just dug. This track is fire. It's a classic Nipsey track. Ty Dolla $ign is giving the R&B love, and Dre sounds like young Dre on this, for real.
I mean, Dr. Dre single-handedly gave the West Cost.
Yeah,
sound.
Oh man,
single-handedly.
And he says in the song, "I'm the West Coast." Either West Coast or Compton, Beethoven, which is not a lie.
Nah. Dr. Dre is just he's what Russell Simmons was to producers.
Wow, that's strong. I appreciate that.
Like, that's strong. It Dr. Dre is just we wouldn't be here without him.
Listen. Quiet is kept, and if we let's go a step further. For the sheer lack of instrumentation, he would be hip hop's Quincy Jones, right? Like Quincy Jones is an artist artist. So like he knows instrumentation. He knows how to play live music. He is a jazz artist himself. So like he knows how to create, develop, and build musical symphonies that other producers just can't do, which is what makes him Quincy Jones. Yeah. But Dr. Dre can do that with a beat too, and create a sound like you just said. He literally gave the West Coast a sound that a lot of producers just can't and haven't done.
Bro, you recall that he was a part of the World Class Wrecking Crew, right?
Yeah.
Before he turned off the lights.
Yep.
Dr. Dre. That means Dr. Dre is like 40 years
in the game.
In the game.
100%. 40 years in.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's crazy. Wild. That's wild. 40 years in the game. He's still able to produce because he's been in the studio a lot lately with some like younger artists.
He stays in the studio. Yeah.
And listen, the only way you're a DJ, right? Like even if you're not DJing, you at home mixing, you at home scratching, you doing something, right? Yep. And so like the only way to continually to stay up in your craft is if you're still in the game mixing, doing different things. Even if you're in the studio teaching, he can be in the studio with Hit Boy, giving him lessons on, that sound kind of good right here, but like tweak this right here and watch how it changes the sound. Like just the simple things, because he knows what he's doing so well, can just change the game. And I think he's been doing a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So shout out to Dr. Dre, man. Yeah, this halftime show is going to be crazy. And you know, I mean, with that, it's a Rock Nation, you know, kind of production, right? So do you think Jay-Z, now that all the detractors who are like Jay-Z is only in this for himself, now do you look at it and you say like, we have a all hip hop mainstream halftime show? Is this because of Hov? And if it's because of Hov, now what do you say about what he did?
I mean, it's 1,000% because of Hov. Now, where I would like to know where all of Jay-Z influences lies with the NFL, especially with this past weeks coming out with the coaching thing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You know, how long has he been aware? I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Jay-Z is always fighting the fight. That's one person I don't question about fighting the good fight is Jay-Z. Yeah, I don't question it. Yeah. But I would like to still know what is his involvement in other aspects of the NFL, not just the halftime show. Or does he have any other involvement? Because I would like, first of all, this is a big deal. This whole NFL thing with the coaches.
It's huge. By the way, I'm tired of, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm tired of Black professionals having to put their entire livelihoods on the line to bring out the atrocities of biasness, prejudiceness, and racism. Like Colin Kaepernick literally lost his career because he knelt. Brian Flores may never coach. I'm gonna tell you, if he doesn't get a coaching gig going into this season, he'll never coach in the league ever again.
Absolutely. I think they're trying to give him a job now.
Yeah.
But when they keep saying he was in the running for this Texans job, it's another job. But I'm glad he came out anyway.
Yeah.
I'm glad he came forth anyway, because imagine somebody paying you to tank. And then they fire you. Yeah. And see, this is one thing I always knew that a lot of racist white business owners do. This is what they do, Malik. Yeah. They will hire somebody Black that's not sufficient.
Yep.
Just to make them look bad, so they can get them out of there.
Yep.
And bring in a white person that they want.
Yep.
They will do that.
Yeah.
They will hire a Black news anchor that's not that attractive just so people can complain about her.
Yeah.
Or she's not that good, or she stutters just so they can fire her a year later and bringing somebody else.
Yeah, I definitely think it's strategic for sure. I think they're strategic hiring so that they can have something to point to as
Right.
we did this, you all asked for it, we did it. Now what do y'all want us to do?
Right. Absolutely.
Which is messed up. I don't know what Hove's involvement is on the back end of a lot of this, right? I do think that if I'm a betting person, that a part of his move is to eventually become an owner.
Right.
I do believe that's the case.
Yeah.
For me, though, I'm like, if he does that, he's got to give up all of Rock Nation sports, right? Like he's got to, dissolve himself dissolve his interest in Rock Nation sports because he can't be an owner and an agent.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, at that point, what is he trying to do in the interest of career, money? Because there's news now, Robert Smith, who's a billionaire who basically covered all the debt for a couple of recent Morehouse classes. He's looking at trying to be an owner. And I heard today Byron Allen is trying to become an owner as well. And which would be interesting, right? They've got if they don't have the significant bread themselves, they've got the Rolodex of other African Americans, minorities who have significant wealth who can support an African American ownership.
Yeah, listen. First of all, this is the first generation where Black people can really do this, and you just want to see it happen where a black ownership group comes together and get an NFL team. Like, I mean, let's say if you took Robert Smith, a Kanye, and a Jay-Z, and a Puff, or Dre, that's. Those are all billionaires. You tell me they can't have a team and not even hurt.
Yeah, you got the money.
You can pull the money together without a doubt.
I don't disagree. So I think that this halftime show, I think Rock Nation does a lot with the community and external affairs of the NFL, making sure that the NFL is genuinely touching base in urban centered communities. I think they're doing a lot with that, which is a good thing. But I think personally, the end result for him is ownership. And if that's the case, I'll take this halftime show on the way to ownership. I'm cool with that. For sure.
Me too.
Yeah.
I got a question because I saw these people talking about it. It was a topic that came up.
Yeah.
And Questlove was talking to Jay-Z.
Yeah.
About how he felt about In My Lifetime. And Jay-Z, because a lot of people, remember like Sunshine, a lot of people, he got a lot of heat.
He got a lot of flack. He gave himself a lot of flack for that too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And so he says that In My Lifetime still haunts him.
Yeah.
Even though, and Questlove said this, even though some of his best work came from In My Lifetime, like Streets is Watching. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go to the song before Streets is Watching. Imaginary Players.
One of my favorite
Jay-Z songs, dog. Yeah. What? Like, he is spitting on Imaginary Players. I was having this conversation probably about 2 weeks ago, and I was telling one of my boys I work out with, I was like, the greatness about Jay-Z and what makes him the GOAT is that his lyrics are timeless, because you can go back, because now you're wiser and smarter and you've lived a little, you can go back and listen to In My Lifetime and pick up on some gems that you couldn't pick up on when it first came out.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Because what we forget is, for hip hop and rap, Jay-Z was old for becoming a new artist. He was 26 when Reasonable Doubt dropped. Right. So like, hip hop has notoriously been a younger, teenage, early 20s kind of
back then at least.
Back then for
it's
sure.
It's kind of changing right now.
Yeah. So like when he dropped Reasonable Doubt, he was a lot more mature, right? So then you go into his future releases, you get to In My Lifetime, and again, like he's spitting lyrics that you just aren't thinking about in the moment, right? You think about how he's, you know, his bravado and braggadocious nature talks about, you know, having a Range Rover, you know, your girl pulling up, you got a 4.0, I got a 4.6, and you asking me a dumbass question like, well, what's the difference? Like, those things are real things that he's probably experienced, but I can't remember how old we were when that dropped, but it wasn't until I actually had my own range where I was just like, that's a ludicrous question that I know you get asked in real life. And so it's like you live that, then you go back and you listen to it again and you be like, that's funny because you can actually hear it at this point, right? There was a line that he said, it might have been on Watch the Throne, where he said he said a line about Richard. Then he said, prior to that was moving Freebase. Yeah. Right. And it's like people would just hear the line and hear him talk about him dealing drugs before he was a rapper. What they're not contending with is a double entendre of Richard Pryor and Freebase. And it's like, if you don't know the if you don't know the context of the line, you just get lost in the beat and the verbiage. And you're like, that's a hard line. But what you don't really know is that, like, he's not even taking a shot at Richard Pryor. It's just a dope ass line when you get the context of it. Yeah. Yeah. So king of the double entendre. I fuck with it. So do you think Jay-Z's In My Lifetime is underrated or not? Because he considers that, a lot of people consider that his worst album, right? It's tough to say, Frost. I mean, I'm biased. I'm a Hov fan. I do rank him extremely high on my list. If you look at where he puts it, he put Magna Carta above it. I don't know that I'd put Magna Carta above it. I don't know. That's tough. For me. But the other albums that he had before it, I might be right. Like it's kind of, I think it's number 7 on his list that he did on his website a couple of years ago. Again, I don't know if it would be number 7 because I don't think I'd put Magna Carta before it. But like, I get it. I mean, what he puts before it, they're all bangers, and I kind of agree with him. But it's you must love me when he talks about shooting his brother because just out of sheer pride, and then he asked to see me in the hospital. You must love me, dog. That's heartfelt. You feel that. Yeah. So, I know he gives himself a heartache about Sunshine, and by the way, Sunshine was a dope track. It was one of my favorite tracks. Listen, if he didn't have Puffy do the video, I think everybody would feel different about it. That's a fact. Everybody would feel different about it, and he said that himself. He was like, him and Diddy, they were vibing. I think they were, it was a good space they were in. I believe B.I.G. had already passed by then, and Diddy, I think either Diddy asked him or there was somewhere where it came up and he was like, cool. And that video isn't Jay-Z. It's not his vibe. It's not what he is. It's too much. It was a Puff Pixie Dust. Back then was a gift and a curse. It was because people wanted it. Yeah, but if you was from the streets, you kind of had to stay because that's what the Locks was dealing with. Yeah, 100%. Although Money, Power, Respect is one of my favorite hip hop albums. Bruh, listen, man. We all know the Locks' best work. Yeah, when they was with Bad Boy. Yeah, no question. Y'all can be mad at Puff all y'all want. All you want. Yeah. Puff definitely gave you one of the greatest hip hop groups of all time and one of their best projects. So, but yeah, that's funny. The Diddy Pixie Dust.
It was the Diddy Pixie Dust, man.
Yeah.
Listen, Puff was like some of my most listened to albums of all time. It was Puff had his hands on it. Whether it was the Mary J. Blige 411 remix album.
Facts. That's 100%. Yeah. Wow.
That Jodeci album.
Which one? Diary of a Madman? No, that was
before that. It might be like the first one. The first Jodeci album.
Forever My Lady. Is that it?
It was on there.
Yeah.
Forever My Lady was on there. Yeah.
Did he produce that album? We gotta look that up.
He definitely EP'd it or something. Like Diddy hands was all over that album.
Listen, that's a classic album.
Diddy hands was all over that. Diddy was rock with, because that, that's how Mary J and KC hooked up.
KC hooked up?
Yeah.
That's funny. I did not know that. Huh.
Yeah.
But listen, that's a hard album. I mean, they and their style, that makes sense because their style on that cover and that Forever My Lady video is a very Diddy kind of style where it's like, street with leisure style.
Yeah, listen, that was Diddy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That was Diddy.
I can see that. Listen, man, I feel Jay. I don't know that it would haunt me in that way because like he just got some bangers on that album, and I'm talking about some real street B-side bangers where if he did a concert and he only did the B-sides of In My Lifetime, no one would be mad.
Right. Let me
for real.
Let me pull up this Jay-Z In My Lifetime track list,
please.
I The City Is Mine.
Yep.
Friend or Foe.
Dog, I'm telling
Imaginary
Players. Streets is watching.
A Million?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dog. It's a crazy album. I would not put Magna Carta before it. He did in his list. I wouldn't do it. It's a crazy album.
Yeah, man. That's crazy, bro. That's great. Those are some of my favorite records from Jay-Z.
The name Rolex Diamonds. You done to that? I mean, listen. Imaginary Players can come on in the club right now, and everybody will sing that song word for word. Yeah, in the adult club. Nah, I've seen it drop, and
maybe you in DC.
That's fair. It definitely will not happen below the Dixon line.
No, it's not. It's not happening.
Not North Carolina, South Carolina. Maybe Atlanta. Maybe because they got a lot of New York. I forgot what you call it. Yeah. That's fair. That's
transit. Fair. What you call people that move to a different place?
Oh, transient.
Whatever.
You talking about Atlanta?
Yeah, they got a lot of New York. I can't think of the word I want to use. But
transplants.
Transplants.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, it's definitely a classic track that people are going to know and hear and be like, oh, that's my. That's one of those tracks that come on, OG or not. You get to that face and you be like, oh, that's my jam right there, and you get into a vibe.
Yeah.
That album is, I don't know what Hope was talking about, but like he's an artist, right? So like he has more contextual knowledge about why he feels that way than we do.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, it for me, I'd have to think hard about putting Magna Carta. Not even think hard. Magna Carta isn't before that one. I know he's got Reasonable Doubt first, Blueprint second, Black Album third. I forget what he has fourth and fifth.
Do you rank Reasonable Doubt above Blueprint?
Yeah.
You do?
I do because I do because what he did with that album shifted the landscape of where hip hop was, right? That's 96. Nas dropped in 94.
What
So
you mean?
like
Nas dropped before 94.
Nah, it was 93, 94. It wasn't before that.
Nas dropped 91, bro.
Illmatic? Look that
91,
up.
91, 92. I promise you.
You gotta look that up. I thought it was 90.
That's why that's why I really consider like Nas the GOAT, man. Illmatic, like for him to put out something like that at that age, it's crazy.
I thought it was like 93, 94.
Illmatic was 94. But hold on. What was his first song? Life's a Bitch? Let me see.
Maybe.
Because I know Nas was out before.
I mean, he probably dropped some like, some sort of mixtape or something like that. But like, I knew Illmatic was 94 because 2 years later, Hove dropped, and like it changed in there. That's when you start looking at the narrative of like, okay, you got Biggie, Nas is out, Hove this kid, just Jay-Z just dropped. Like, if you go back and listen to Reasonable Doubt right now, like, it's sort of like Blueprint where you can hit play and walk away.
So yeah, so Life's a Bitch did come out in 93.
Yeah. So but the album dropped in 94. So
yeah.
You go back to Reasonable Doubt, and you could literally hit play, and if you're a hip hop fan, regardless if you were around when it first came out or if you're just a solid hip hop fan who knows hip hop, you could hit play on that, let it roll, and may know every song word for word. It's one of those albums.
Right.
And so, Blueprint, also to this fact, Reasonable Doubt was a pure album in the sense of there were no certified. I don't think that he did You Can't Knock the Hustle and knew it was going to be a radio hit, right? Like, if you listen to Can't Knock a Hustle, because Mary J being on the track makes it crossover, but like, dog, Can't Knock the Hustle is a street album. Everything on that album are street cuts. So he made an album for the streets, and it became a classic album. It's sort of like Get Rich or Die Trying, right? Like, although 50, I think, probably aimed for a couple of radio hits. He was working with M, he was working with Dr. Dre, so he knew he had to pop off. But like, Reasonable Doubt is a pure album that it was just made for an artist who was coming out for the time.
So Nas,
go ahead.
My bad. So Nas did drop at 91 though.
What was that single?
Live at the Barbecue.
Okay. I knew there was a mixtape beforehand.
That might, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew that Nas was Nas way before Jay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is an era of, man, we're about to definitely date ourselves. This is an era of the mixtapes. Ron G was pushing mixtapes. Who else was pushing mixtapes heavy back then? It wasn't Kid Capri. There were a couple of New York DJs. Doo-Wop. Yep. Ron G. Doo-Wop. I had a couple of Ron G joints. Man.
Doo-Wop was that dude to be.
Yeah.
Doo-Wop mixtapes was crazy.
Crazy. Yeah.
Crazy.
So there had to be a time in there where they got their hands on some Nas material and put it out there. And this is before, mixtape era really hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
this was the real mixtape era where there was This was before the Clue era.
Yeah, this is before the Clue era. Yep, 100%. When mixtapes were mixtapes, and they were literally tapes of mixed songs from different artists who no one's really heard about, but like you need to hear these artists. You need to know who these artists are.
Yeah.
For real.
Facts.
That's hilarious. Damn.
Well, my brother, man. Yeah. Memory lane right there, brother.
Facts, 100%. Damn.
You ever hear a song and make you think about being in one of your dorm rooms or something like that?
Yeah, all the time, 100%. It's mostly R&B.
Yep, me too. Like that Faith Evans album,
That Mary J album.
Mary J.
Mary J, My Life or Share My World.
My World, yeah.
Yeah. Brandy's album.
Definitely telling our age right now.
Oh yeah, for 100,000%. If they didn't know, they counting right now, my nigga. Without question. But here's the deal, right? And you got artists like Bruno Mars and other newer age artists paying homage to 90s R&B, and we were in the midst of it, right? Yeah. Like there was nothing like 90s R&B.
Listen, there was nothing like 90s hip hop, not like 90s music. Period.
Golden era
is a golden era.
Yeah,
we'll never get it back.
Nah, ever. And for one part of it is music today isn't digestible. Just when something drops, something else drops.
That's a fact.
So you can't like digest an album, like you can't, and nobody's invested in it with streaming. I think we had this conversation before. Nobody's invested in the music, right? Like a consumer, I got streaming platforms, so I pay $10 a month to listen to your album for free. So like, if I didn't pay, I mean, you gotta remember, what was the name of the
bro?
Huh?
Go ahead, because I don't want you to miss your thought.
Well, I was gonna say, what was the name of our brick and mortar in Columbia? Was it Mystics? The joint on Broad River Road, man. Manifest disc and tapes. Yeah. And we would have to go at midnight. Matter of fact, I think you and I went at midnight, or I went with somebody at midnight to pick up that Machiavelli's album when it dropped.
It wasn't me, because I never did that.
You're terrible.
I never did that. But I was just about to say, man, I remember when CDs some of the CDs used to be $20 out the gate. $19.99.
Yeah. Were it not for you, I wouldn't have gotten any of those CDs. What are you talking about? You got him, and I was like, oh yeah, I need you to burn that for me, please, sir.
Bro, I used to spend hundreds of dollars every week buying albums. Yeah. Every week. I remember. And you had to do it.
Yeah, if you didn't, you were SOL.
Absolutely, because somebody couldn't just send you an MP3. You had to actually have the album to play it.
And so think about that. It goes back to my point. You know, no one's invested in the music. If you pay $20 for a CD, you're gonna play that CD out.
Think about the music industry alone with how much money they would make just off the DJs.
100%. Yeah.
Just off, even though you could be in a record pool and get these records, but you still have to go and buy records. You might go buy a double.
Yep.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, the record pool didn't get it. You still had to go buy records.
Yeah.
And so another thing with the music, like what you were saying, like, I'm just hitting on another point, is that, they don't teach music like they used to in schools no more.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of kids, like back in the 70s and 80s, kids were really going to school. Like some schools, like you had to play at least a semester or a year instrument. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You had to learn a little bit of it. So when you got so many people, you'll get more gems. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like, it's so much harder to become a basketball player than somebody who plays badminton because there's so many people that play basketball. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So the music was better because of it.
No doubt.
So
I'm with you.
So the best thing you can do now is just sample off the old music because they had real instrumentation.
Yeah, that's real.
So you know who's the musician now? You know who's the biggest musician now? The DJ.
Touche, my brother. Touche. Because as a DJ, you get it and you understand that the only people playing real music are the DJs who are putting out new artists who aren't being discovered and aren't being pushed by labels because they don't believe in A&R anymore.
They don't have, they everybody's behind the 8 ball at this point because the music can just be consumed so fast. So fast. Like a song can break over a weekend now. And literally break over a weekend.
It can break over a weekend, have enormous success, and be gone in 2 months.
Absolutely.
And you'll be like, whatever happened to that artist? They made a mint, they got rich. And listen, man, Lil Nas X, nobody thought that after Old Town Road he'd do anything else. Kudos to him, right? Because he decided to put the work in and put out more music that was beneficial or that people wanted to hear, but nobody expected that outside of Old Town Road. They were like, oh, that's great. He got his one hit and now he can make a living off of ringtones and singing this song at old school concerts.
Yeah. He's not a Salento.
Nah, facts.
Salento, he got a murder charge or something like that, right?
What?
Yeah, man. Watch me.
That's wild, bro. That's wild.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been a great episode, man. I know you tired over there. It's late night. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. We could do this forever. We could keep going. No question. We gotta save something for next time. Yeah. We'll save something for next week, man. What we got doing this weekend, man? We got to start talking about what we got going on, man. What you got? Man, it's Super Bowl. We got a light week over here. Park is shut down until next weekend. We decided to close our doors to make sure that we, didn't necessarily perpetuate or continue to perpetuate COVID numbers. So we shut down for a couple of weeks, but we back next week. Well, we got anything planned for CIAA? We got to figure that out for us. Because I was like, man, I know my boy Malik gonna call me. We got to figure something out. CIAA, you know what I'm saying? What's real is I haven't even heard anybody really talking about it. I gotta see if something's gonna really hit because this will be the second year. That's super interesting. Yeah, to say that nobody's been talking about it, bro. That's crazy. It is, and so. But that's a testament to what COVID did to this market, right? DMV got hit pretty hard and cats were not trying to be super spreaders. If you went out, you went out to the regular stuff. But from a corporate standpoint, corporations, big events, big festivals were shutting down. Yeah, facts. Same thing with colleges too. Yeah. A lot of college campuses, they won't allow the students to do stuff on campus, even off campus some places. Yeah. So let me look into that. Let me see what's coming up with CIAA. But once we get back to the doors being open, we're gonna be Park's gonna get back to some nightlife. We were open as a restaurant and we were doing brunch and dinner. Oh, we gonna get back to it. This is an exclusive. This is remember when you heard it first. We're gonna get back to the money. You know what I mean? We heard the people have been talking, so we heard them. We feel you. We missed you too. I'm coming. I'm coming to hang out one weekend. Get ready. No doubt. You gotta do that because it's a vibe for sure. Yeah, definitely. What you got going on? I got a couple events this weekend, man. Friday I gotta do an event in Auburn. And then Saturday I got an event in Montgomery. Okay. And then Sunday I got an event in Birmingham. Are you DJing? I was gonna say, are you DJing for the Super Bowl or? Yeah. Okay. Super Bowl event. Yeah. Who you got winning? I think the Rams won it. I'm with you. I'm not gonna. I want to be contrary. I think Joe Burrow did great just getting this far. Yeah, but this is where it stops. Yeah, and listen, and I think Joe Burrow will be back if I'm being honest. He got to be back. Yeah, he got to be back. Right? Is year two for him? Come on, he got to be back too. So I think Matthew Stafford, and and the Rams organization, like those players, you know, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, like a lot of them have been in like some high pressure positions and situations that, you know, they can like, even if they have initial nerves, they can settle in. And I think the Bengals are going to have some nerves and some anxiety that they're not going to overcome.
Listen, that Jalen Ramsey, Jamar Chase matchup.
It's going to be real. I want to see that.
That's really what because Jamar Chase, oh my God.
He a beast. Next level.
Next level as a rookie?
Yeah, next level.
As a rook?
I agree.
He might be the greatest of all time, but by the end of it.
If he keep balling like this, he take care of his body, he don't get hurt. Yeah, listen, he is a baller.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but I'm with you. I think the Rams pull it out. I think people who are, you know, going for the Bengals just want to see, you know, an upset, and they want to see Joe Burrow pull it out. But like, I just don't think the Bengals have the final firepower to pull it out. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, man.
All right, brother.
All right, my brother.
We'll wrap.
Till next time, my brother. Peace.
Peace.